What's going on, everybody? Now, as you can see, we are up here in the mountains, and I am actually up here testing out a backpack. Now, this isn't any backpack. This is the REI Lookout 40. I recently picked this pack up to take on day hikes and possibly short overnight backpacking trips, as well as some other general uses for just having a good backpack. But what I did is I went to REI, checked out several packs, and I was looking at all the packs for a couple different features that I liked, as most importantly for something that fit me well. Now, I am a bit on the tall side, so I did get the large size, and mostly for me, I have problems with getting the hip belt in the right place. So with this one, it's almost perfect. Now, one thing you'll notice is that my load lifting straps here are sitting a little low on my back. Now, that can be problematic, but for me, it's been fairly comfortable. One of the things I really like about this pack is the fact that it's very comfortable. The shoulder straps are comfortable. It sits on my back, has good or pretty good airflow. Padding, the frame is not, it's not scraping into my back. And like I said, it's comfortable. One of the things that I don't like is how the sternum straps have a tendency to move pretty freely. Now, it is easy to adjust them up and down, as you can see. However, when you're hiking along with weight in the pack, they do have a tendency to move up and do some of those things. So one thing to keep in mind, but they are extremely comfortable. I prefer to wear mine a little bit on the lower side as opposed to being up like this. Hip belt is really comfortable. It's highly adjustable. I'm not on the small size, as you can see, so there's still plenty of room if you were heavier than me in your midsection. I have about a 36 to a 38 waist for the most part, so that kind of gives you an idea. And as I said, I am taller, about 6'4", and I believe my my back measurement is 21 inches as far as pack size goes, so that kind of gives you an idea. But overall, I've been liking it a fairly good bit today. Now, this is the second time I've had it out, and I really enjoy it. It's comfortable. It puts all the weight on my hips. One thing I do really like is try and show you here is the water bottle holders are mesh, and it's a new design that I've never had in any pack before, where you can get the bottles in and out of your pack fairly easily. Now, I was a little worried when I got it on whether it's going to be durable enough for larger water bottles or stretchy enough to fit them in there. And this one is a 1 liter Dasani bottle. Have no issues getting it in there, and it's easier just to pop them in. Easier than most packs, and they stay in there firmly. I haven't had any issues with them coming out at all, so really been enjoying it so far. What I'd like to do is do a couple more hiking trips, maybe a couple backpacking trips, or at least one if I can get enough gear in it, and see how well it holds up to a little bit more weight. Now, again, I've got about 25 pounds in here, maybe a little less now that I've drank some of the water, but it's extremely comfortable. Really enjoyed using it today. So you guys will likely see a review on this pack. Again, it's the Lookout 40 from the REI brand, and definitely looking forward to using it more. Again, these are just my first impressions, but so far I like most of it. Another thing that I kind of dislike about it is it doesn't have a lot of pockets. For organization inside of your pack, it's kind of going to be problematic. So what I've done is I've got a lot of things compartmentalized in my own containers and pouches and things like that. So that's kind of a down point for me as far as organization goes, but I was able to fit a fair amount of gear in here, and I might take it all out and show you guys what I have in here for the day hike. So that's again, this is just my first impressions. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned something from it, and I will try and roll in some shots of the pack, of me using the pack along this video, so you can get a closer look at it. So anyways, all right, so I told you guys we'll go ahead and look at what's inside of the pack, what I brought up here. First off, in the front of the pack, we do have a couple of zip pouches that run the length of the bag. So in here, I have my water filter. This is the Sawyer Mini Squeeze. Fits in there nicely, as well as the cleaning plunger and the tube. That's all I have in there, and the stuff's gonna fall down. That's all right. Set it right there. Don't exactly have a flat table right here. Then on the other side you have an additional pocket that runs the length of the pack. In here I've got my fire kit as well as some toilet paper. That's all I have in that pocket. Now up here you have a horizontal pouch. I have a wool sock in there that I was holding my phone in earlier. I have some drink mix as well as some creamer for some coffee. I have a little titanium stove as well as a stirring stick. I'm going to leave that in there because I don't want it to blow around. There's a little titanium Esbit stove. I've got my zebra light H52 or I think it's the H52. Got a compass. I have 2 AA 4.7s flashlight, and that's going to be it for that pocket. Now the rest of the pack is pretty much inside of the large pocket here, which can be good and bad depending on what your point of view is. Here's my other wool sock just in case I needed them. I do have some food in here, just some snacks, a small bag of food. I have a bag here. I believe this is a Condor bag, if I'm not mistaken. This has just a lot of my camera accessories in it, extra batteries, extra SD cards. I have another one that is for my first aid kit. Pretty good first aid kit in there. I have an Esbit pot. If I was to need to boil water, I could use those, as well as some fuel and some other lighters and other things that would go towards my fire kit. I have a titanium mug. This is the Totes titanium, I believe the 450 milliliter. I have extra trash bag. Could be used for shelter making. It's a really big, heavy duty one. As far as tools, I do have a Mora knife, the Bushcrafter. I also have my Baco Laplander saw. I have an emergency bivy, the same one you guys have seen before from Adventure Medical Kits. I also have, this is an emergency tent, reflective tent. Yeah, I think I've shown that before as well. I have a couple 50-foot strands of paracord. I think I have, this one's more like 25. I've got a bandana, cotton bandana, good for a lot of different things. And I also have 2 liters of water. That's gonna fall down. Another one on the side pocket. So as you can see, I've got a good amount of gear here. I did have some additional water, but I already drank that. The bottle's in here. So as you can see, I fit a pretty good amount of day pack gear with still plenty of gear. Now keep in mind, I also had my tripod, which the camera's sitting on, as well as a decent sized camera. That together weighs a couple pounds. I also have a microphone set up with my Zoom H1, so as well as a case for that that's sitting over there. So a good amount of gear has fit in here, and you can definitely fit more. So that kind of gives you an idea of the pack layout. It does have a bottom zipper down here if you were to put your sleeping bag in the bottom or just to access the bottom pouch. However, it's not separated from the top pouch. It's all one pouch in the center. It does have some straps to hook some gear onto the bottom, as well as some side straps to kind of secure the load a little bit better. This rock is not exactly a flat surface, so it's not working very well. So there you have it. Here's the back of the pack. It does have some foam, free-flowing foam that's very comfortable. I believe it has a steel frame, if I'm not mistaken. And there also are 2 small pouches on your hip belt. Actually, they're kind of stretchy, so I was able to fit my Galaxy S3 cell phone in one, as well as some camera cleaning stuff on the side, a little lens cleaner on the other side. So you do have those on both sides. So, and also here are the mesh side pockets for the water bottles. So anyways, that's just a little bit of an introduction to this pack. I'm going to try and do some more testing on it, see how I like it overall. Hope that was helpful to anyone that's looking at this pack. Again, this is an REI Lookout 40. And if you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And we'll do more videos on this later. Thanks for watching, guys.